Hey superstars, it's your bestie Scott, and have I got a story to tell today. It involves completing a project I've been working on for 8 years with the help of my very good friend Andrew from Nuf Ced Cards, and we're starting with the Nuf Ced part. This painting didn't take 8 years, by the way. It took some figuring out how I wanted to present this whole video because there's a few moving parts here, so stick with me. So back in February, I decided to run over to Virginia to set up at a show that was more of a Net 54 pre-war vintage card hangout than a card show. But Andrew helped run that one, and they allowed me to bring my t-shirts and art to sell. I brought Warren with me, and Sammy Thunder was there, and Don from the show and me was there. I didn't really make a killing, but the trip was well worth it. Just a really fun day with really great people. I noticed in Andrew's showcase that he's got a card that I've wanted for a very, very long time, and it's got a price tag on it. Barely anything at this hangout was priced because this was intended as more of a show and tell thing. But there were some amazing cards, things that I'd never seen before, some cards that were absolutely inspiring. I've met some really nice people and ate some really good food. But anyway, Andrew had this really nice card. My situation, though, is like, even though it's been on my radar, after starting the business last year, I don't really have a hobby budget anymore. So it wasn't even in my head that this card was a possibility. I was chatting with Sammy throughout the day, and knowing my situation, he started asking about if I would consider selling cards to acquire new cards. I kind of pride myself on having pretty good focus, and I don't feel like I have a lot of fat to trim out of my collection, but I started thinking about maybe some of the easier cards to replace, like some 53 Bowmans, Topps flagship stuff, and he asked what I might want, and I said I'd want Andrew's beautiful card right there, and I'm purposely leaving you in suspense, by the way. A lot of you know what the card is already, but I promise it'll pay off. A little later in the day, Andrew and I got to talking about this card, which is beautiful, by the way. Did I mention it was beautiful? And he mentioned that he had some room on it, but I explained that artists that recently quit their cushy graphic design jobs are generally poor and have no business buying such beautiful cards. And he was like, well, I do like your art, and I think the wheels started turning, And Sammy and Don and Warren were all in on this now. At least they were in my ear telling me that there was a deal to be made here. Eventually, as I was packing up and leaving the event, Andrew stopped me and he said, if you want to, we're going to get something done here. I've been doing this painting the whole time I've been yapping, and I'll start explaining that in a second. So the next day, I'm texting Andrew, thanking him for letting me set up. He's just another one of those guys who's been really supportive of what I'm doing, but he brings up this card again, and we hash out a deal. He dreams up the sepia tone painting of Nuf Ced McGreevy holding a Piedmont sign, along with another painting that I had done already, and some cash. It's a very fair deal on both sides, I think, but I know I can't be trading my art, my livelihood now, for cardboard. But a little devilish Sammy Thunder pops up on my left shoulder telling me that it's not just any card, this is the card, and who am I to argue with the hobby heroes? Well, I present this deal to Mrs. Reindeer. This is not something to keep from your spouse, and bless her heart, she gave me the thumbs up. So I inform Andrew it's a deal. He in no way pressured me into this, by the way. He just wanted to make sure that this card made it to the right home. Okay, so this painting, like I said, was part of the deal. Andrew's channel name is Nuf Ced Cards. He's one of the most well-respected collectors on YouTube and beyond for that matter. He's got a great eye, great taste, and just really solid knowledge and appreciation of pre-war trading cards of all shapes and sizes. And the Nuf Ced namesake is Nuf Ced McGreevy here, who owned a sports bar in Boston, and he was the leader of the Royal Rooters, a lively fan club of the Boston Americans, who later became the Boston Red Sox. Nuf Ced was also a collector of sports memorabilia, and if I remember correctly, he was featured briefly in the Ken Burns baseball documentary. Now, Andrew is a Red Sox fan, so there's the Nuf Ced connection, and he lives in Virginia, hence the Piedmont sign, as Piedmont cigarettes were based in Virginia as well. Andrew displays this sign in his videos, and I actually bought myself a similar Piedmont sign a few years back because I want to be just like Andrew. Following along? I hope so. Andrew offered to send the card that weekend, even before the painting was done, but I thought it would be more fun to do the exchange in Strongsville. That gave me a good solid deadline, and we got to do this deal in person. There was so much anticipation leading up to this year's Strongsville show, and this amplified that for me times a million. And I'm going to be honest, all this lettering was a royal pain in the rooter, but I had my eyes on that prize, man. And there he is. There's our man, Nuf Ced McGreevy. As much as I would have liked to, I couldn't film the exchange, but Andrew seemed thrilled with how this came out, and I was so relieved. I loved it, but you never know, you know? And without further ado, here is my prize. This is the T206 Cy Young Milkman. It is absolutely beautiful, and I couldn't imagine having a nicer copy of this card. It is a polar bear, which I did not have any polar bears, and just the fact that it came from Andrew makes it honestly priceless to me. This is the last card I needed to complete my T206 Cleveland Naps team set, which was the initial goal that got me back into collecting baseball cards 8 years ago. With 3 Cy Youngs, 3 Napoleon Lajoies, and 2 Addie Joss cards, it was not an easy feat. This is not a card that I can afford with my current income or was even thinking about going after anytime soon, especially one this nice. Please don't think I'm complaining about being poor. I'm doing just fine. I just need to be careful, you know, but this card is very special and well worth the effort I put into acquiring it. Andrew, thank you times infinity for making this happen. It is absolutely a cornerstone in my collection. I also got to thank Mrs. Reindeer again for giving me the go-ahead too. I can't say she was nearly as excited as I was, but she gets it. And thank you guys for watching and supporting me. As always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see you on the next one.